let's talk about why I created the new flip, what I call flipping bicycles. Number one is that it didn't require a lot of capital, just $100, okay, which I believe most Americans have today. Two, the risks were very low. The financial risks were very low because all I was putting in jeopardy was just $100 versus if I started, let's say, a different business. Like if I bought a franchise, I would have to come up with hundreds and thousands of dollars. If I opened the store, same thing. So I didn't have to have, you know, a lot of money, just $100, and the risk was I only had to risk the $100. Other reasons why I started it is I wanted something that had massive profits, what I call ROI. And what that means is I didn't want to do a business with small margins. In the flipping bike business, I've done it many times, and I have a bunch of videos helping you guys how to do it, where I turned $100 into $300, I turned $100 into $500, I turned $100 into $1,000. And so that means the profit margin is so much higher than anything else I can get in gold, silver, starting a business, doing multi-level marketing, doing Amazon, any of that stuff. And now we're talking about Amazon. I didn't want to have a business where I was dependent on someone else. For example, I didn't want to do a business where I was dependent on Amazon or have a middleman, you know. So this is why I thought flipping bike was a great business, especially for people that want to stack their cheese, especially for people that don't want to work a lot because maybe they have a full-time job or they have families or just don't want to, but they want to make good money. And I've been able to do in 1 month $9,119 only working 4 days. Okay, so this is what I'm going to share with you. So this is why I thought flipping bikes was a great business, because it was low risk, $100 I'm putting in jeopardy, high returns. I don't have to have special education, and I'm going to share with you all of it here. I don't have to have special tools. I don't have to have like a, buy a truck, like flipping couches where I have to go buy a truck, or other ideas, or other businesses. Like if I start a moving company, I need to have trucks. And so it was something that I could do right through my cell phone, right through the internet, and it has massive profits. And here's the other thing. There's a big demand for bicycles on the buy side and on the sell side. So, and last but not least, there's not a lot of competition out there. It's not like flipping houses or wholesaling houses or buying and selling cars, right? And so that's why I created it through my imagination, because I wanted to help my students that get into the real estate game, flipping homes or becoming wholesalers, learn how to do the business while making money, because flipping bikes is very much like flipping houses. You got to find deals at a deep discount. You got to learn how to talk to people. You got to learn how to market. You got to do all these things, which I'm going to show you right now or you can get my course, the new flip. So now that you know why I created the bike idea, why I thought it was the best idea, now let's talk about how do I find these deals, okay? Because that's very important. Where can I go find these bikes? Because I've documented myself doing a bunch of bike deals where I bought them for just $100 or less, right? And I was able to sell them for $400 or $500. So where did I go to find these deals? Well, number one, right from your phone, you can go to Facebook Marketplace. That's a place where there's a lot of people selling all kinds of stuff, and you can look under bike category because it's such a big category, right? There's going to be a lot of people that are trying to sell their bikes there. Another place you can look for totally for free, right online, right through your cell phone or your computer, is the Facebook groups. Now that's a little different than the Facebook Marketplace. The Facebook groups is you can join bicycle groups in your area. You could join classifieds, sales classifieds in your area, and there are people selling their bikes there. So you could join those groups and buy those people's bikes. So that's two places that you can find. The third place is right off of Craigslist. If you go to Craigslist, there's a lot of people selling bikes there, and it's a great place to find bikes for dirt cheap if you're using the strategy that I'm going to show you. Okay, Now, everyone's not going to want to sell it for dirt cheap, and I'll get into that in a minute, but let me continue on. Where to find them. The next place that is great to look for is 5 miles. Guys, 5 miles. Okay, that's an app. Another app is OfferUp. So these are all online classifieds that use different types of, some of them are browser based, some of them are apps. And you know, you go up there and there's tons of people trying to sell their bikes and they just want someone to give them some money. And using my strategies, you'll be able to buy bikes at a deep discount. Now, I talked about where to find these bikes. Now let me talk about the main theory, the thesis of this, okay? Because you got to know what this thing is about. This thing, the new flipping bikes, is about buying bikes from motivated sellers at a deep discount. Okay, so you got to listen to what I'm saying. I'm giving you the golden goose. The audience is motivated sellers that have bicycles, and they need to sell it at a deep discount. Let me say it again, deep discount, deep discount. Why do you need it at a deep discount? Is because once I buy this bike at a deep discount, I'm going to turn around and sell it at a discount. Okay, which means that I'm going to price my bike below the fair market value, below my competitors. By how much? By a lot. I'm going to sell it at a discount. What that's going to cause is what I call velocity of my profits. That's going to allow my $100 to constantly move and sell, to grow it into 10 grand, 50 grand, whatever your personal goals may be, because of me selling it at a discount. Okay, so again, let me define a couple of things. I just said a lot of important ideas. I want to make sure you guys understand it. My audience is motivated sellers. If I'm not talking to the right audience, I'm going to waste my time. So for you to be able to identify what a motivated seller is very, very crucial, or you're not going to get the deal. You're going to be talking, you know, like, that's kind of like, you know, I have kids. That's kind of like sticking the square box into the circle. Well, it's not going to fit. It's never going to fit, and you're going to work your butt off, and you're never going to get a deal. So understanding who your audience is very important. Motivated sellers. Now, motivated sellers comes in 2 tokens. We have what's called financial motivated sellers, all right? And the other ones are called emotional motivated sellers. Financial motivated sellers means that, hey, they need the money. They're going to take it to the pawn shop, but why not to you, right? Now, emotional motivated sellers means that they're not hurting for money. That's not their objective. For them, is they're just trying to get rid of this bike because it's taking up space, for example, in their garage. They don't have any more room, or it's taking space in their room, and their wife's telling them to get rid of it. Or, you know, they bought a new bike and they don't need it. Or they're moving to a different country or a different state, and their airplane leaves in 5 hours, and they don't want to trash this bike. But, you know, they want it gone. And they're just willing to just walk away from it. And just, even though it's worth $500, just give it to someone for $50. And that has happened to me. Before I thought about flipping bikes, what I'm sharing with you, I used to buy all my bikes brand new. And I was remembering that, you know, we give all my stuff away, and, you know, to the homeless, and we were traveling state to state. And with my wife, Soraya, we were at Las Vegas for 6 months. And, you know, we bought a brand new bike, okay, because we wanted to bike around, you know, instead of driving. And so what we did is, you know, we sold it for like $50, even though I paid like $500, $600 for it, because we were moving back to a different state, and I needed to just get rid of it. But at that time, I was the motivated seller. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You got to work with motivated sellers, or you're not going to have success. All right. Number 2. Now, before I go any further, guys, if you could please click the like button. It really helps out the algorithm. I just want to give you thanks for my family, your family, because it does really help out. Okay. Or leave a comment. Let me know what you ate for dinner or breakfast, or what your goals are, or any questions. I'd be happy to answer for you. Okay. Now, let's move forward on the definition. So we know what a motivated seller is. The other thing we need to understand is deep discount and selling it at a discount. So let me give you a quick example. If a bike is worth $500 in the fair market value, I'm buying it at a deep discount, which is I'm buying it for $100. And then I'm gonna sell that same bike that's worth for $500, maybe at $350, maybe at $400. So I'm way below market, and what that does is allows me to sell that bike really, really quickly. How quickly? Well, I've done deals what I call warp speed, which I've sold in less than 24 hours. I bought a bike for $100, I bought a bike for $85, and then I sold it for $500 in less than 24 hours. I bought a bike for $100, actually $150, sold it for almost $1,000 in 19 hours. So that's what I call warp speed. Now, there are other bikes that may take me 2 or 3 days to sell, and there are some bikes that will take me 4 weeks to sell. Okay, but again, it's all on what type of bikes I buy, what size that I buy, and I go into it in my flipping bicycle course. Should be a link below, all into it. I'm not gonna have time to get into all of it, but I highly recommend go checking it out. Okay, now the idea is to buy it at a deep discount and then sell it at a discount, because there are 3 types of sellers out there. They're the type of sellers that want to price their bikes above the fair market value. What does that mean? Well, if the fair market value for that bike is $500, they're trying to sell their bike for $600, $650. And what that does is makes their bike sit for a long time, which then finally they become motivated, just like in real estate. And that's why I tell you guys that if you want to flip bikes, if you want to flip real estate, best thing is to learn how to flip bikes, because they're very, very similar. Okay, all right, so that's a different story. Now, now I buy the bike for that's worth 500. Well, I'm sorry. So there's 3 types of sellers. One is selling above market. The next seller is selling just at market, which is 500. Well, I'm selling, and the third type of sellers is the sellers that sell below market. Why would they sell below market? Because we bought it at such a good discount that we can sell it below market and blow away the competition. And guess what? And move it at warp speed. Move it really fast. Instead of waiting 3 months, 6 months to sell a bike, sell it in 24 hours or less. Sell it in a week. Sell it in 2 weeks. Sell it in 3 weeks, which is extremely fast. And, you know, so that's the secret sauce that I'm sharing with you, and I'm hoping that you understand what I'm talking about. That buying at a deep discount, selling it at a discount is going to allow you to move forward. Now, we talked about what a motivated seller is. We talked about where to look for these deals. We talked about why I think flipping bikes is such a great side hustle, or even a full-time business. Okay, here's the tools you'll need. Hardly anything. You have everything already. That's why one of the reasons I created this idea, this business, is because I didn't want to have a lot of tools. So the only tools you need is a car. You don't need a truck or anything like that, because all bikes break down, and I show you in my course how to do all that stuff. Okay, but all bikes will fit into anyone's car. I have a small Leaf. I sold my Mercedes SL 550 and my dream car when I gave most of my stuff away a few years later, and I just ride a bicycle. Okay, because I became a minimalist, but that's why I'm sharing my information with you. So, knowing that America is a great country, knowing that you can make massive amount of money with just $100, knowing that, you know, can you fail? Absolutely. If you don't do anything, you will fail. If you don't take enough action, you will fail. For example, in this business, you got to have, you got to learn to have tough skin or grow tough skin, because just like buying anything at a deep discount, there are going to be people that are going to say no to you, and you got to understand that that's part of business and not take it personal, right? Because the honest truth is, anytime you want to part away with some other man's material, that he paid 100% for, and you only want to pay him 10 cents or 20 cents or 30 cents, they're not going to be too happy about it. Only motivated sellers will be happy about it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And to go through the dirt to find the motivated sellers will take energy, but it's not impossible. And there are a lot of motivated sellers out there. And here's the reason why I tell you this, is because, for example, in America, 50% of the people are sedentary or obese, right? And so they buy these things on impulse. They buy these $1,000 bikes, $2,000 bikes. They may ride it for a week and they put it in their garage and never mess with it again. So they're spanking new, right? And so and there's a lot of people like that in America. And I show you exactly where to find them, what kind of offer letters to give them, because, you know, a lot of people message people, say, look, I want to buy your bike for 100, and the seller says, you know, get lost. Well, that's the wrong way to do it. And I give you the offer letters that I give the sellers. It's a copy and paste. There's 4 what I call offer letters that, you know, groom the seller, if I can say that, for them to say yes to you, right? And you can get them in my course. They're just copy and paste, because in my course, not only do I show you the video training on, for example, how to do this, the new flipping bicycles. You also get my books on how to do it, and more importantly, you get my manual. Just like if you had bought, for example, a franchise, you get my manuals, but you don't have to pay me any franchise fee or anything like that. Okay, and in the manuals, it shows you, okay, copy this, send this out. No matter what the seller says, send them this offer letter too. No matter what they say, send them the offer. So it's like in automation. There's no thinking. It's just a copy and paste job with deals at the end. Okay, but you got to know, you got to go through the numbers, and you do it right through your phone. It takes just a second to give an offer. There's no communication. Just copy and paste from the get-go. It's so simple, right? Only way that it wouldn't work is if you don't take action or you don't give enough offers. Because again, not everyone's going to want to sell their bicycles at a discount. Just like real estate, not everyone's going to sell their home at 50 cents on the dollar, 60 cents on the dollar. But I tell you what, there are plenty of people that do sell it for those prices, and people do deals like myself with those type of sellers, right? It's all about being consistent with it. Now, how hard is it? It all depends on your mindset. This is the easy. Now, let me tell you, I've owned a moving company for 14, 15 years. I started with $100. I owned a real estate brokerage firm that I had, you know, brokers, real estate agents. I mean, we sold multi-million-dollar pen homes all the way down to ghetto apartments and new non-property management. I personally own rental property, so I can tell you, I've been in the restaurant business, I've been in the car wash business, I've been in the fitness business, right? I've done, you know, I've never had a job. I've been an entrepreneur since high school, and I can tell you, this was the most, you know, not to toot my own horn, but this was one of the most clever business ideas that I ever came up with, because literally I can make 6 figures without employees, without tools, without education, without a lot of time learning, without hard work, because this is the simplest idea. Everything's done right through the phone, and you know, and that's what I'm sharing with you today on where to find these sellers. Who are your audiences? Who do you need to focus on? Understand that not everyone's going to say yes. That's totally normal. Okay. And then in my course, I also show you how to inspect the bicycle, because you know, when you go buy a bicycle, you got to know how to inspect it. Now, I don't do any repairs. I don't know how to work on bikes. I just know how to ride bikes. So I don't do any repairs. So if I buy a bike and for example, it has a flat, I just sell it with the flat, and I'm still able to get, you know, 400% or 500% returns. Is because I take great pictures, I write a good description, and I almost forgot, I give you the copies of my ads for buyers, right? Whenever you get a bike, what should you put in there to sell it fast? Just sell it at Warp Speed. I give you exact copies that I use, because it's all about the presentation, right? and I show you exactly how to inspect the bike. I don't do any repairs, so if you don't know how to work on them, that's great. I don't know either at all. I don't work on bikes. I sell them as is. All I do is wash them, take great pictures of them, and I show you, and I have a video on how to take great pictures of the bike so they can sell very, very fast. It's very, very important, okay? And, you know, everything you need is in my course if you're really serious and you want to get this thing done in warp speed and start making money ASAP. And if you want to just be the person that goes and tries to do it yourself, then hallelujah, go for it. Share with me your success stories. You know, just know that it may take you a little bit longer because there are some pitfalls out there versus the person that just downloads my course, right? Because over 25 years of entrepreneurship experience, how to start businesses without any debt is being packaged into what I call the new flip, where I teach you guys and gals how to flip bicycles and make a six-figure if you want to. You could work 1 hour a week, you can work 10 hours a week, you can turn this into a full-time job or a full-time business. Depends on excuse me, your personal mindset, guys. Okay, if you need more information about this course, go to bestsidehustle.mrnofluff.com, bestsidehustle.mrnofluff.com. Remember, guys, you're beautiful, you're powerful, you're creative. Don't take no for an answer. I believe in you. Much love.